Hello YouTube. No, I haven't made a video in a while. It's going to be kind of a strange one. I know I look kind of bad right now, but I just really don't care how I look anymore. I had a friend ask me to make a video about depression and cutting. Mainly because this person just didn't understand what I go through. And a little background: I've had depression for 8 years now. I am 18. I've been cutting myself for 5 of those 8 years. Recently I quit for a good while, a couple months, and I started back, and I got a few more scars now on my arm that no one really seemed to notice, of course. They haven't noticed in 8 years. Why would they notice now, right? Family doesn't care. Friends don't really care. I mean, you got one or two that does, but other than that, they'll be like, "Oh, whoa," and that's it. They don't care. They won't try and help. I've got literally maybe 2 friends that I would say would try and sit down with me and help me through this, but and it's just okay. So here is depression in a nutshell for you. This person just doesn't understand it, and so here's what it is. And she said, "I think I might have depression." And I said, "That's not something you think." She goes, "Why?" Here's why. When you have depression, the day that you have depression and the day you get it is the day that you stop caring if you're alive or not. You couldn't care less if you lived or died for the rest of your life. 8 years. And for 8 years I haven't cared if I live or die. If I die, then, I die. That's all there is to it. And like I said, I've got a few people that would sit down and try and help me, and some of them do. And I appreciate that, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Carrie. I know, if she watches this, she'll know what is up, because that's just what it is. And sorry for the typing. I'm actually talking to her right now about it. Yeah. So that's just depression in a nutshell. The day that you get depressed is the day you quit caring if you live. And if you don't cut, you'll find another vent. Trust me, I did it all. I'd punch things as hard as I could. I've broken so many knuckles. I used to burn myself with lighters. You'll find it. I think about suicide on a daily basis. I'm driving home from work at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. I know that if I wreck, ain't no one gonna find me. Nobody's gonna find me for a few hours. I could lay there and die. Now think about it while driving home. And when I get home, I mean, I've got razor blades all over the place. I've got knives. I've got all kinds of sharp objects. I've got lighters. It's just, nothing. I said, if you are depressed, you'll find a vent. Is all I gotta say. And for those of you who think your friends, like if you start seeing scars on your friends, or fresh cuts, or fresh burns, don't ignore it. Just don't. Because like I said, I think of suicide on a daily basis. And you know why I haven't killed myself? Because of people like Carrie. Because of the people in my life that truly matter to me. And that I know that without me, they would be devastated. And I'm afraid what would happen if, to Carrie, for instance, I'm afraid what would happen to the people I care about if I was to die. You know, my family knows that I'm depressed. They don't acknowledge it. They don't care. They see the cuts, they see the scars. They don't care. They don't pay attention. And it's just the way that, I mean, sometimes, you know, don't always think, oh, you know, my friend's cutting himself or cutting herself, you know, whatever. You know, don't think that, oh, you know, the family will take care of it. The family will deal with it. No, that's bullshit. The family ain't gonna deal with shit. Blood don't mean shit. My friends, the few that I actually do have, are closer to me than my family is. They know more about me than my family does. My family doesn't care. They don't want to know. They don't want to learn about me. That's just all there is to it. And you know, I thought, you know, getting a license, being able to drive, getting into college, getting a full-time job, I thought all that, you know, take my mind off of it, help me out a little bit. Didn't do shit. It did for a bit, yeah, I'll give it that. Yeah, I had a little more freedom. But it just didn't do anything. And I still cut to this day. I still think about suicide to this day. And all I gotta say is if you know somebody's depressed, and you know somebody's cutting themselves or burning themselves, don't ignore it. Talk to them about it. You know, don't just be blunt about it and be like, hey, listen, I know you're cutting yourself. You need to stop that shit. Talk to them. Sit down with them, you know. Just let them know that you're there. Because you know what? I never had that. For 5 years, I never had that. Carrie walked in. She found out that I was depressed and was cutting, you know. And she was there for me no matter what. I know that I can message her or text her any time of the day, and she will be there for me. And that's what everybody needs. Like, everybody who's in my situation, or maybe worse, maybe not as bad, you know, everybody who's in that situation needs that person that they can rely on. It's like, you know, if I want to cut, you know, I'll tell Carrie, and she'll talk to me about it. We'll FaceTime each other. We'll call each other something, but we will talk about it. And we always need that backup, that one person to keep us from falling off the edge. And, you know, I know what it's like to not have friends. I went through high school as the loner. The guy who just did his own thing, you know, didn't really fit in any particular groups. You know, didn't care. You know, I just didn't care about the cliques that was going on in high school. I didn't, you know, I was big enough to be a football player, didn't play football. You know, I was smart enough to be, you know, with all the, you know, really intelligent kids, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't care. And, you know, I wore enough black and was depressed enough to fit in with the supposed emo kids, and I just didn't. And so, you know, like, I don't sleep, because when I sleep, if I dream, then I dream about the people that I've hurt and that are hurt by what I do. And I don't want to dream because I don't want to see that. And, you know, if you know of somebody that's out there doing this, man, don't just stand by. Don't just say, oh, somebody will take care of it. Be that person. Take care of it. Don't just let it slip away, because, you know, you never know if that person's going to be here tomorrow. You know, you don't know what that person goes through. You don't know what it's like to lay down at night and go to bed and not care if you wake up in the morning. You don't know what it's like to see a knife and cut yourself just so the pain will bleed out. Just so you don't have to feel it anymore. Just so you can feel something. You don't know. You don't know what that person's going through. So be that person. Talk to that person, because you don't know if you could save their life. You might keep them alive. They might be having thoughts of suicide tonight. They might have wrote their suicide note last night. Have everything prepped. I've done it. And I've had people come in and save me. Be that person. Don't just let them, walk on thinking somebody will take care of it. They'll be fine. This is just a phase. Because it's not. Depression is a recognized mental illness. It doesn't go away. It doesn't just disappear. They need someone to help them. Be that person, because you know what? I would do anything. I would die to this right now to keep everybody safe and from going. I don't want anybody in this world to go through a fraction of what I go through in a day. I can't explain what I go through, but my parents, I get told on a daily basis how I'm the worst child they have, how they hate me. I've been kicked out of my house more times than I can count. When I get a girlfriend, I have problems with the fact that I get really attached really quickly and really easily. And even though I try not to, and I know it's just going to fuck me over, I do. And guess what? It fucks me over every time. And, you don't know what it's like to think, if I died tonight, who would be at my funeral? And not be able to think of many people. You need to be that person. And for those of you that are depressed, and those of you that are having suicidal thoughts, and those of you that cut, or burn, or hit things, whatever it is, talk to me. I'll put my Facebook, my Twitter, my phone number, whatever. I'll put it all. Snapchat, Kick, all of it in the fucking description. If you need someone to talk to, I'll be that person. If you don't have friends like I didn't, I'll be that friend. I'll be that guy that's there. Because I would do anything to help others from going through anything that I've went through. And to keep everybody, I don't want anybody to go through a fraction of what I went through and what I go through on a daily basis. So if you need that person to talk to and you need somebody, I'll be there. Just I'm gonna put all my shit in the description, and just tell me, comment. If I can help in any way, say you're that friend that's gonna help that person and you don't know how to do it, comment. I will help you. If you need somebody, I'll help. I'll be there. Just don't go through it alone. Trust me, it makes it so much more difficult to go through it alone than you do if you have somebody. To go through it alone is just death wish. It's a miracle that I'm alive to this day. It really is. I've wrote more suicide notes than I can count. I've tried to kill myself twice. And I don't know how I survived. I shouldn't be alive to this day. But I know that I need to help people. I need to be there for people if they need me. If they need somebody to help and to talk to, I gotta be there. So listen, if you need help, I'll be there. If you need me to help you help somebody, I'll be there. Just don't let that person go through it alone, and don't go through it alone. It's not worth it. I know that, you may not want to tell people that you're depressed because you don't want people to look down on you. Trust me, I put on a mask all through high school. I'd wake up in the morning, if I slept at all, and I'd put on a smile. Just so people didn't worry. But sometimes they have to, because sometimes you need somebody. Don't go through it alone. Reach out to somebody to help you, or reach out to that friend who's going through this, because they don't need to go through it alone. And you don't need to go through it alone. It's a bad thing. So just please do what you can. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to me. Alright. So I guess this is it. Yeah. So just reach out to somebody and be that person. Don't let them go through it alone. And I'm here if anybody needs me, man. I've probably been through what you're going through. If not, I can relate in some sense. Alright. Stay safe, you guys. And don't go through it alone.